Now I'm wrapping this up. WRAPPING. I'm wrapping it up. Second Chronicles 9:13 says, "Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year, 12 months, was 636 of gold." Now, um, a lot of times, what you guys need to know is that God is very wise when He does things. So gold represents brilliance and knowledge, and King Solomon allowed the wisdom that God gave him to become a weight, because he allowed the knowledge that God gave him and the knowledge of the world to be mixed together, and he caused the world to be confused about who was the true and living God. And King Solomon actually became a god in this world. And it's a shame, because the time that he was in sin, he looked like the Antichrist, because he was raising up altars for his women's his all his women's gods, and he was raising up the house of God for God and for Israel. So they were all doing things that were so messy. It was such a confusing time while he was in sin. And we could see that he lost most of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why in Revelation God had to restore Israel. So also I need to explain that in the book of Numbers, it was important for them to number, for God to have Moses number the people, because the number of the people meant to take out a census. And what it did was every head of the family, of each family from each tribe, had to cover one another. And you had to be 20 years and older, because that 20 represented, that 20-year-old person above represented the weight of shekel, okay? Or a gara. A gara is 20%, 20 part, excuse me, of a shekel. And like I said, this is so deep, I'm not going to make this hard for you. But people represent the temple of God. So when God is building his temple, he's building his people the way he wants his people to look. So when Christ died with the transgressors, he became head over the temple. That's why he said, you know, you tear this body down and be rebuilt in 3 days. And so when these people passed by Jesus when he was up on the cross, they shook their heads, and they started to blaspheme him, saying, "Destroy this temple, and you know, you say you're going to build it up. Go ahead and do it." This is Mark 15:28. So it was because Christ became the head over the world, and he's the one who's restoring his body, which is us. So when he resurrected, we